Welcome to Blah Blah Time. This is the show where I literally ramble on and on about this, that, and everything in between, looking at things from every possible angle, inside out and outside in. Since this is the very first episode, I am still figuring out what exactly I should talk about. Actually, can we talk about this spring for a second? It was cold, wasn't it? Well, maybe not cold exactly. More like cool. Has there ever been a May that cool before? Seriously? Back in high school, my uniform had a blazer, and around May, there was always that transition period where you could choose whether to switch to the summer uniform or not. But the moment May first rolled around, nobody was wearing their jackets anymore. That's how hot it usually was. And yet, this year it stayed cool even into June. Honestly, that's kind of amazing. I guess recent rainy seasons have just been way too hot, so this feels unusually comfortable by comparison. I think the things we truly love are often the things we least want to tell anyone about. But these days, isn't it often the case that the desire to be the kind of person who likes something comes first? We're living in an age where we can share all of our favorites on social media. But the movies we love, the novels that profoundly shaped us, the music that changed our lives, those things are deeply tied to our identity. They're incredibly delicate. So, for example, if I ever start posting my partner on social media, you can assume that something is probably going wrong in the relationship because I absolutely wouldn't want anyone to know about the person I love. And even when people constantly post about their partners online, we shouldn't forget that what we're seeing is never the entirety of that relationship. Most of who we are consists of things we never show other people. For example, even people who talk endlessly often carry the feeling that they still haven't managed to put anything into words. In fact, the people who seem to talk the most are often the ones who feel like they've barely said anything at all. That's why even those affectionate posts about a partner are both real and fictional at the same time. If someone quietly tells you, and only you, about something they genuinely love, that's proof that they've opened their heart to you in a significant way. You could almost call it a confession, just as it's difficult to tell someone you truly love, I love you. Those suggestive photos people post on social media never actually show what they most want to show. The things people write never contain what they most want to say. Even advertisements slip effortlessly into everyday life while pretending not to be advertisements. They call it a promotion, but then say, oh, it's not like I'm trying to sell you anything, right? The photos we post on Instagram, the music we listen to, everything we choose to show other people is really a wish for ourselves to exist within a certain worldview. I like the song. I love this movie. This book changed my life. I can't help but wonder whether all of these things are merely pieces we use to construct a version of ourselves for other people to see. After all, it is only by being seen by a third party that we become aware of ourselves as a person. The difference between writing your feelings in a notebook and posting them on social media is that social media allows you to construct an ideal version of yourself through the presence of others, the possibility that someone might be watching. In the age of social media, people build their personal worldview as though the version of themselves seen by others is their true self. Lately, that tendency seems to have gone too far. It's almost as if the version of ourselves that exists within someone else's story has become the thing that makes us who we are. recently, more and more people have been trying to remember what it means to be offline, haven't they? Everything on social media is a version of yourself created with the assumption that someone is looking. If something is known only to yourself, does it not exist at all? Speaking of favorite music, it reminds me of something. The songs people are believed to truly love are often the ones that don't get shared very much. In interviews, for example, when someone is asked, "What's your favorite song?" the song they answer with, isn't that often not their favorite song at all, but simply a song that's familiar to everyone? But I guess that's what mass appeal is. It means the music has reached people who aren't even particularly interested in music, because most people don't listen to music because they love music. They listen to it because they want to connect with other people. For example, they memorize songs they think they can sing at karaoke. The general public listens to music in order to find songs that create just the right atmosphere and are easy enough to sing. And now, music spreads through social media as well. People post dance videos, receive likes, and the songs spread alongside them. They're simply looking for music that's easy to dance to. Of course, there are plenty of songs that become more than just that, but trends move so quickly now. Even if something goes viral, people forget about it almost immediately. That's why artists have to release new songs at an unbelievable pace just to avoid being forgotten. Sometimes I see people commenting, "When are you releasing a new song?" But songs aren't really something you can just decide to make and then make. And this isn't only true for music. Creative work is connected to every part of life. The things you ate today, the things you saw, the things you heard and felt. Creation often happens when those things unexpectedly connect with one another. And many artists are sensitive people. They can't always flip a switch and instantly become motivated to create. On top of that, creative work isn't always something you can do entirely on your own. There are relationships with other people, collaborations, timing, and circumstances to consider. So what I'm really trying to say is this: I hope the people listening can be patient. Please give artists time. You know, sometimes it feels like social media has become a tool for constructing an ideal identity, building a personal brand, and connecting with other people. And music just happens to exist conveniently within that system as a kind of fashion accessory. But now that we're living in the age of streaming, if you can't make people want to share your work, you can't survive. And honestly, even I'm getting tired of it. Whether now or in the past, the music that becomes popular isn't necessarily the music that is musically or poetically superior. And yet, once an artist has been made to prove that they are accepted, adults flock to the talent echoing from that small room. Then the public is taught to believe that whatever is popular must also be what is excellent. Sometimes I wonder if everything in this world is just an excuse to distract ourselves from loneliness. Maybe it's not that we love alcohol. We just want to meet the people who gather around it. Maybe souvenirs from our travels are simply excuses to see people. Maybe we don't actually love cafes. We just want a reason to meet someone. Maybe we don't enjoy drinking alone. We just want someone to see us being the kind of person who drinks alone. Maybe we don't even love singing. We just like being able to liven up a karaoke night. Doesn't that mean the whole world is built out of tools for filling the emptiness of loneliness? At this point, you could probably argue that the desire to connect with other people is what's driving society itself. Take immersive art exhibitions, for example, the kind that are designed with smartphones in mind. Honestly, they're not really my thing, but those exhibitions become conversation starters, don't they? And of course, they're also a form of self-presentation. I always thought exhibitions were partly a conversation with yourself, so seeing people enjoy them by going with friends, taking photos of each other, and posting them on social media felt surprisingly new to me. Still, I don't want to dismiss something before trying it. Maybe I'll go check one out myself. If you have any exhibition recommendations, let me know in the comments. Don't you ever think about it? Sitting alone at home, scrolling through your friends' stories, and suddenly wondering what exactly you're doing with your life, because most of what's in people's stories isn't information you actually need to know. I saw a post from someone saying, "All I see lately are stories about my friends' babies." Honestly, I've had enough of the baby bragging. But the thing is, most of what appears in our friends' stories isn't information we need to know in the first place. The vast majority of it. Unless I'm incredibly bored, I don't really want to spend my memory or mental processing power on it. Personally, when I see stories about babies or children, I usually just think, oh, that's cute. But maybe if I desperately wanted children and couldn't have them, or if I'd convinced myself that the reason my life wasn't going well was because I didn't have children, then maybe I'd feel exactly the same way as that person. Anyway, I highly recommend only looking at Instagram when you're extremely bored or, like when you're gathering information. Honestly, whenever I look at someone else's story, I can't help thinking, who are they actually talking to? Because deep down, everybody is writing for just one person, aren't they? You can post a story saying, I went here today, but the person you truly want to see it never does. That's social media. Everyone is really posting because they want one specific person to see it. Yet somehow, it only reaches people they weren't thinking about. And the one person they want it to reach never sees it. That's social media. When people post photos of themselves drinking, maybe it's because they aren't actually with the person they most want to drink with. Maybe the post is directed at someone they can't meet because they're lonely. It's the same with suggestive photos. You're clearly with someone, and yet the photo is directed towards someone who isn't in the frame. As if you're asking, are you still watching? No matter how many likes it gets, what you really want is for that one person to see it. That one person's gaze. Social media isn't a place where people connect. It's a place where people never stop thinking about the ones they failed to connect with. People call it a need for validation. But honestly, I think most of us just want one person to acknowledge us. Even those suggestive photos. The reason people post them is because they're searching for one person, other than the person they're currently with, who shares the same memories they do. And maybe by externalizing those memories, they're trying to leave proof that they were really here. That they really lived. Human beings created technology to connect with one another. And somehow it ended up making those connections thinner instead. We don't actually want thousands of likes. We want one specific person to acknowledge the fact that we received them. So honestly, just tell people you want to see them. Go see the people you miss. Stop making it so complicated. Yeah, these days people even have AI friends. There have been cases of people taking advice from AI and ending up taking their own lives. Why are we able to trust it that much? The truth is, technology can't repair the human connections that technology itself has helped erode. No matter how advanced it becomes, a robot can never truly be said to know you. Though honestly, the same is true of human beings. AI learns by combining patterns and characteristics from the people it observes. And no matter how accurately it recognizes someone on paper, human beings are far more delicate and complicated than anything programming alone can account for. We don't even fully understand ourselves, so how could AI? We stop relying on other people. We stop expecting things from them. We avoid interfering. We look for emotional support in machines instead of people, alone in our rooms, holding a smartphone. We interpret endless streams of text from around the world through nothing but our own personal lens. The internet didn't just expand the world, it also made us lonelier and lonelier. It's not like having one friend who fulfills every need is what's important, right? There are things you can talk about with one person that you can't talk about with another, and you have friends you go to cafes with, friends you share music with, friends you talk about books with, friends you go on picnics with, friends you drink with, friends you share your favorite fandoms with, friends you talk about work with, friends you talk about politics with, friends you have sex with. They're all important friends, aren't they? What? That's a friends with benefits relationship. Because friends with benefits are only connected through sex, so they're not really friends. Even though people call them something that's supposedly more than friends but less than lovers, if a relationship were truly connected only by the physical act itself, then it wouldn't even be a relationship. A one-night stand isn't even a friendship. It's less than friendship. So how is that any different from saying that a friend you only go to cafes with isn't really a friend because your relationship consists only of going to cafes together? Why is sex the one relationship people conveniently single out as being for convenience? By that logic, all friendships are convenient. There's no contractual obligation holding them together. They're relationships that continue simply because people want to see each other. I don't think that's where the real issue behind so-called convenient relationships lies. Because even if a problem arises within a sexual relationship, if both people want to continue the relationship, they'll try to face that problem together. And if they decide they never want to see each other again, then the issue probably wasn't sex itself. More likely, the limits of that relationship simply became visible. Sex is less a cause of relationships breaking down and more an opportunity for the quality of a relationship to reveal itself. And while romantic relationships are institutionally designed as exclusive relationships, friendships simply aren't built on that assumption. But feelings like possessiveness and jealousy exist perfectly well within friendships too. To begin with, there are very few human relationships that continue entirely without benefit. We stay because we feel safe, because we have fun, because we feel understood, because we're comfortable. In that sense, every relationship could be said to continue because of some kind of convenience, but we don't normally call those relationships convenient. We usually just call that compatibility. The phrase, "it's a convenient relationship," tends to appear when there's some sort of imbalance involved. A power imbalance, an asymmetry of feelings, mismatched expectations, a sense of being used. Something isn't balanced. So I think the real issue isn't whether sex is involved, and it isn't whether the relationship provides benefits. The real question is whether someone within that relationship is living with something they haven't fully accepted. And as I said before, if both people are comfortable with it and genuinely satisfied, then it's less a relationship of mutual benefit and more simply a relationship with good compatibility. Like, what's important here is that convenience does not automatically equal bad. The point is that when someone feels a relationship is convenient, we need to pay attention to the discomfort that person is experiencing. Labels aren't the essence of a relationship. If something feels off, maybe it's worth facing that feeling. Oh, sorry about that. Looks like it's almost time to say goodbye, which probably means I've been talking a little too much again. So I'll leave it there for today. I hope you have a wonderful day.